Happy International Biodiversity Day from the Global Youth Biodiversity Network here in Europe. We are a community of young people active on biodiversity policy, doing actions for biodiversity and mobilizing young people, trying to create meaningful pathways where we can be active in the space on the United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity and help stop this biodiversity crisis we are currently facing. Today, we have a couple of very motivated young people sharing with you why they joined GYBN and what they have been doing as part of this network. My name is Jessica, I am from Germany, and 2 years ago I helped start the first chapter of GYBN here in Europe. We have been bringing young people together to motivate, inspire, and share their perspectives on biodiversity and try and get these heard at the international level, at the CBD, as well as at the European level. I believe that it's important for young people to build communities and help one another go beyond what they would have been able to do as individuals. Let's hear from the others.
Hi everyone, my name is Julia from Vienna and I will tell you a bit more about my role and work as a coordinator and co-founder of the national chapter of GYBN in Austria. I joined GYBN in 2021 together with other fellow activists who felt like the biodiversity crisis was not being tackled enough, either by youth NGOs or policymakers in Austria. We formed a biodiversity action team in the organization in which we were already active in and went on to found the national chapter for GYBN in Austria, the Austrian Youth Biodiversity Network. Since then, we have been part of negotiating the National Biodiversity Strategy 2030 as youth delegates in the new Austrian Biodiversity Committee. And right now, we are planning the first ever Biodiversity Youth Conference in Austria, which will actually be held next week. With GYBN Austria, our long-term goal is to build a strong youth voice and movement on the topics, of course, of biodiversity and the biodiversity crisis, not only in Austria, but all of Europe and the world. Besides that, we are also aiming to establish youth delegates for the next and upcoming CBD COPs.
Hey son, my name is Aksel, and I am one of the 6 GYBN Europe coordinators. I'm from Sweden and I'm part of the Nordic Youth Biodiversity Network, a subchapter of GYBN Europe. And I joined GYBN in 2021 because I started realizing how important biodiversity is, since I had up until then almost only focused on climate. But around that time I heard that there was a survey going on in the Nordic countries asking for youth opinions on how youth should better be included in biodiversity processes. Since then, I have been advocating a lot for youth influence, both in the Nordic countries, but also recently globally, together with GYBN and Youngo. So youth influence in biodiversity is very important to me.
GYBN's role at the CBD COP is quite diverse. GYBN advocates for the right of future generations to inherit a healthy planet. GYBN engages and mobilizes delegates and builds partnerships with other like-minded groups from civil society, and GYBN showcases the many examples from young people around the world who already do actions to protect biodiversity. And last but not least, GYBN also communicates. GYBN communicates from and about the CBD COP, which is essential not only to build enough public pressure so that the right decisions are being taken, also to make sure that these are translated into national targets, that they are actually not only being taken, the decisions at the CBD COP, but also implemented on a national level.